Hello everyone, I'm Wheelman, and I'm back doing the Week 1 challenges in Season 10 of Ghost Recon Wildlands. Now, I know I said at the end of last week's video that I wasn't going to do any more of these, and I stand by most of what I said. The free prestige crates are still garbage compared to the premium ones, and they are filled with crap designed to keep you from getting the things that you want. At the end of the challenges this week, I had enough prestige points saved up to buy 4 crates. From them, I got 2 emotes, a duplicate weapon skin, and a motorcycle. So out of 4 crates, I got 3 items that I will never use. However, as of this week, the payouts for challenges have been doubled, and the things available for completing all of the challenges for the month are pretty neat. So I've decided the best course of action for me is to, number 1, use this little soapbox that I have built to tell people not to buy premium loot boxes. And number 2, show people the easiest way to get the free loot boxes in hopes that they don't buy regular loot boxes. So with my personal rant out of the way, let's get on to this week's challenges. This week's first challenge is, while stationary, kill 3 Santa Blanca snipers from 100 meters or further. It was actually my friend, RPD Ghost, who figured out how to do this one, and because of that I figured I should probably use his footage for the video. He went down to the Malacca province, to the super church that's in the area, where he found 3 guys just hanging out begging to be shot. All 3 of them are stationary, so you don't have to worry about leading your targets. You just have to make sure that you don't move around between shots. This week's second challenge is, in extreme difficulty and without firing a single shot, deploy to San Mateo Alpha, then complete the mission Operation Silent Spade. The first third of this mission is basically, go to this place and talk to this person, and then go to this place and do a base jump. The only thing you really need to know is, to start the mission you have to go to the map and zoom all the way out until you reach the web, and you can start it from there. Parachuting into the base is pretty self-explanatory. It doesn't much matter where you land as long as you make it over the wall. Your ultimate goal is the hangar to the left of where you land. Once you're inside, you have to talk to the guy, some plot happens, and then you have to lead him out. When that's done, if you hug the left side of the base, there's really only about 3 enemies that you need to kill between you and the guy that you need to interrogate. I chose to use the sync shot to kill them, but you could probably even sneak up behind them and melee them if you wanted. Along the way, you'll find the base's generator, which you have to disable before you leave. So you might as well disable it early, so you can use your drone. The only real threat to your stealth along the way is this patrol of 3 heavies here. They like to wander around the base. I got hit with a bug that wouldn't let me disable the generator, and the only real way to fix it is to fail the mission and then restart from the checkpoint. The good news is, the checkpoint is back in the hangar where you talk to the guy. The bad news is you have to talk to him all over again. The big threat when you go to interrogate this guy is this heavy on the outside here. but I decided to take my drone out and mark all of the enemies that I need to kill along the way. When you finally do grab the guy, you should take him inside just to minimize the risk of being spotted. Once he's done talking, it's time to move to the helicopter that I spotted earlier. This is that patrol I mentioned. They wander around this side of the base and on the backside where you landed, but they don't cross over to the side where the helicopter is. I almost got spotted by this sniper that's back there. And then I had a slight moment of panic as I realized that patrol of heavies was coming my way. These transitions are just me cutting out the sync shot cooldown. Once all the guys are dead, you're clear to grab the helicopter and leave. Just be sure to remember not to leave without the guy. As long as you stay low before you get to the cliff edge, you'll be fine. The helicopter's very sluggish, and it can't descend fast enough to dodge a missile. As you come out of the valley that you were flying down, you're ambushed by a couple of helicopters. Focus on the biggest one first, because he has rockets, and that will take you down the quickest. Now, I made a mistake right here in that I didn't destroy the remaining helicopters. I just tried to outrun them. I was lucky that they didn't manage to shoot me down right here, but as soon as I finished the mission and came out of the rally point, they were all over me. You have to talk to this dude where more plot happens, and then you're free to just run to the rally point and finish the mission. This week's final mission is in extreme difficulty and using only handguns. Deploy to Inca Camina Bravo, then complete the mission Operation Silent Spade, Snafu. Now, I won't lie, this is the most difficult challenge Ubisoft has ever set. I played for almost 2 hours and only managed to complete it twice. The only reason I did it twice was I wasn't thinking and I set down a mine. I then almost immediately failed. And then I forgot that I had failed, and continued the mission as normal. Then when I finally did manage to complete it, I didn't understand why I didn't finish the challenge too. So the way I see it, I've already finished this mission twice as many times as everybody else. So that's why you should take my word when I tell you this is how you should do it. The first tip, and something that I learned too late, was that you should disable tier mode. These guys become incredibly spongy, and even with an upgraded D50, it was taking 4 shots at point-blank range to down them. Even if you shouldn't be doing it that way anyway, having guys that are harder to kill is not going to do you any favors. The next thing to note was that I used 2 different pistols at different stages in this mission. For the first half of the mission, I used the P12 because it's the quietest pistol in the base game. And for the second half, I used the D50 because it was the most powerful. The rest of the mission is normal enough. Fast travel to Inca Camina Bravo, and zoom out to the web to select the mission. From there, spawn yourself a helicopter, and it's a short flight over to the train yard. Now, there are quite a few guys out here, but the guy you're looking for is always in the same train car on this side of the yard. As usual, you want to go through and sink shot everybody. This is actually a good opportunity to talk about another one of the tricks that I've learned. With this trick, you can force bodies to despawn almost immediately after you've killed them. All you have to do is do the sink shot as normal, but then immediately after the enemies are dead, leave your drone view and look away. Because the things that are behind you are now no longer important to the game, the bodies will disappear. This is a great trick for clearing out large areas with patrolling guards that might otherwise spot the bodies. Once you're satisfied with how many guards have been killed, you can run in and grab the guy. I was a little uncomfortable, so I decided to drag this guy out and interrogate him outside the rail yard. Once he's done advancing the plot, you can hop back in your helicopter and fly over to Barvechos. Once you cross into the province, Kozak will call you and tell you he's already on site, and from there your mission is checkpointed. Now, when you inevitably have to reload that checkpoint, you'll start just outside of town. If you run to the railroad tracks and call a helicopter from there, it will always spawn in front of you. Every single time I did this, it spawned in the exact same location, so you don't have to worry about getting crushed by it. From there, you want to fly up and over to the roof that is across from the truck. If you come in from due west, you can get there without being spotted by the enemies. What this means is the enemies won't know you're there and won't come up to attack you. From up here, you basically just call in rebel diversion and rebel guns for hire and wait. The mission has 3 stages, with the first stage being just to clear out the area. When that's done, the second stage of the mission begins, where you just have to survive for about 4 minutes. At this point, there's really only 2 things that you need to worry about. The first being, a sniper will spawn on one of the rooftops nearby. Now, when you're crouched, they will still almost immediately spot you, but that's a good thing. When the sniper starts spotting you, it will kick you out of your drone and almost immediately give you a direction. When that happens, you can go prone and he'll lose sight of you. From there, you can just use a sink shot to take him out. The only other worry that you have is the helicopter that shows up. With the D50 and a decently upgraded vehicle damage skill, it's not that hard to take down. With around a minute to a minute and a half left, you can start heading down the staircase. But don't leave the building just yet. At around 30 seconds, if it's clear, you can run outside. At 20 is when Kozak gives up and says, yeah, we're all gonna die. From there, you can hang out next to the door of the pickup while he gives his little rant. And immediately when Nomad calls Bowman, you'll be able to get in. Once inside, just floor the truck down the road and into the quarry. And then, as you watch the explosion, give yourself a pat on the back, because you finally finished this mission. Finally, this week's Task Force challenge is, using only handguns, kill any bosses from the Influence provinces with a headshot from 60 meters or further. So we're going back to the Malca province once again, this time to start out the mission, El Cheeto. It's probably worth noting that you don't have to do this challenge on extreme difficulty, but I'm still in tier mode because I'm an idiot. There's a handful of guys between you and El Cheeto, so you have to take them out before you can get line of sight on the stage. But once you do, just take your time and pop him in the head. Now, you failed the mission, but that's okay because it spawns you back near where you landed in the first place. Of course, his head is bobbing around and it's kinda hard to hit, so I figured out a better way to do it. If you break stealth and then you hang out by his car, you can catch him as he runs towards it. He'll stop as soon as he sees you and won't move. From there, you can grab him and toss him in the passenger seat, and then drive the car down the road a little ways. While he's in the car, his head doesn't move around nearly as much, and it makes the shot that much easier. So go ahead and just rinse and repeat 5 times. So that's it for this week's video. If you enjoyed it, a like rating would be very much appreciated. And for the outro this week, enjoy this video of RPD Ghost base jumping set to some awesome music.